Staying in touch is just a few clicks away. Get the latest news from a Catholic perspective and so much more. Become a RealCatholicTV.com premium member today.
New medical guidelines are curbing the conscience of British doctors. Anglicans want to trade imperialism for democracy. And according to a real estate developer, the Holy Spirit is bringing greater glory to Hollywood. All that and more coming up on today's Catholic News Roundup.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium. CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
Hello, welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Curbing conscience. British doctors may soon be under fire for following their conscience if they deny new medical guidelines. The General Medical Council, or GMC, which registers doctors to practice medicine in the United Kingdom, recently stated that doctors could be barred from practice for refusing to perform gender reassignment surgery or denying birth control to unmarried women. Liverpool's auxiliary bishop, Tom Williams, the chairman of the Bishops' Conference Healthcare Reference Group, is speaking out against the new guidelines, encouraging doctors and patients to do the same. Williams said that the GMC's new measure is creating an atmosphere of fear, where doctors would be forbidden to live their respective faith according to their consciences. Anglican Democracy. In the midst of plummeting membership, some Anglicans are calling for more democracy. At its April meeting in London, the Fellowship of Confessing Anglicans, or the FCA, argued the Anglican Communion should move away from its, quote, British Empire model of leadership, perhaps even replacing the Archbishop of Canterbury with an elected official. Unlike Europe and the U.S., Anglicanism is burgeoning in Africa, and some African clerics are pushing for better representation in the hierarchy because of growing numbers and a more conservative approach to the Anglican faith. Some Episcopalian churches, the American offshoot of the Church of England, are even shifting away from the mainline denominations to African Anglican, quote, missionary churches, while at the same time many are returning to the Catholic Church through the newly created ordinariate. Gendercide. A vote on banning sex-selective abortions will be taken up by the House of Representatives on Capitol Hill today. The new bill, a revised version of the Prenatal Non-Discrimination Act, will require 2/3 of the House's approval for passage. If passed, sex-selective abortions will be punishable by 5 years in prison for any abortionist who knowingly performs the murderous act for reasons of gender selection, though women seeking a sex-selective abortion may not be persecuted under the new law. A recent poll done by the pro-life research organization, the Charlotte Lozier Institute, confirms 77% of American voters approve banning abortions in cases where, quote, the fact that the developing baby is a girl is the sole reason for seeking an abortion. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Orthodoxy arrives in Denver. Pope Benedict XVI has named a new archbishop for the Colorado Archdiocese of Denver, Samuel J. Aquila. Aquila, a young archbishop at the age of 61, served the Archdiocese of Denver for years before he was appointed bishop of Fargo, North Dakota. The new archbishop has shown himself very willing in the past to stand up for orthodoxy and adamantly defend the teachings of the Catholic Church, and he joins a growing new wave of young bishops that are fighting to preserve her truths and traditions. Hollywood's greater glory. A Catholic real estate developer turned film producer has released his latest project, For Greater Glory, the timing of which he attributes to the Holy Spirit. For Greater Glory is a film based on the Cristero War in Mexico during the 1920s, which resulted from the public persecution of Catholics by the government at the time. Pablo Jose Barroso has also produced the movies Guadalupe and The Greatest Miracle, with the hopes of using media to evangelize, and says his latest project gave him the opportunity to create a Hollywood major motion picture. Barroso says the timing of the Holy Spirit is amazing, considering the delays in making the film resulted in a new release date coinciding with the Mexican government's change in their constitution to allow for religious freedom, shortly after the Pope's recent visit. For Greater Glory, starring Andy Garcia, Peter O'Toole, and Eva Longoria, was released in Mexico in April and comes out in U.S. theaters this Friday, June 1st. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Also be sure to check out The Vortex, where Michael talks about the wolves in the Vatican. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.